सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Okay, let us chant from third one onwards. Third one. Ashraddhadaanaः पुरुषाः
अश्रद्धदानाः पुरुषाः
धर्मस्यास्य परन्तप
धर्मस्यास्य परन्तपा
अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते
अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते
मृत्युसंसारवर्त्मनि
मृत्युसंसारवर्त्मनि
मया ततमिदं सर्वं
मया ततमिदं सर्वं
जगदव्यक्तमूर्तिना
जगदव्यक्तमूर्तिना
मत्स्थानि सर्वभूतानि
मत्स्थानि सर्वभूतानि
न चाहं तेष्वस्थितः
न चाहं तेष्वस्थितः
न च मत्स्थानि भूतानि
न च मत्स्थानि भूतानि
पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम्
पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम्
भूतभृन्न च भूतस्थः
भूतभृन्न च भूतस्थः
ममात्मा भूतभावनः
ममात्मा भूतभावनः
यथाकाशस्थितो नित्यम्
यथाकाशस्थितो नित्यम्
वायुः सर्वत्र गोमहान्
वायुः सर्वत्र गोमहान्
तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि
तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि
मत्स्थानीत्युपधारय
मत्स्थानीत्युपधारय
सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय
सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय
प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकाम्
प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकाम्
कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि
कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि
कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहम्
कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहम्
प्रकृतिं स्वामवष्टभ्य
प्रकृतिं स्वामवष्टभ्य
Visrijami punah punaha.
Visrujami punah punaha.
Tagramamimam kritsnam.
Bhutagramamimam krusnam.
Avasham prakriteervashat.
Avasham prakrutervashat.
Na cha mam tani karmani.
Na cha mam tani karmani.
Nibadhnanti dhananjaya.
Nibadhnanti dhananjaya.
Udasinavadasinam.
Udasinavadasinam.
Asaktam teshu karmasu.
Asaktam teshu karmasu.
So starting from shloka number 4. Maya tatam idam sarvam. Various aspects of Bhagavan has been mentioned by Sri Krishna. Tatam, starting from Tatam. Tatam means Vyaptam, all pervasive. I am everywhere. That is the idea. Tatam. And then Avyakta Murti. In my essential nature, I am formless. I manifest in the form of many things, in the form of this world, including the form of Avatara. But my true nature is not Avatara. Okay. So Avyakta Murtina. And like that, we saw many aspects. And now, in number 8, we have to look at 8th shloka today. He is going to tell another aspect, last aspect in this series. He is going to say, Bhagavan is the Srishtikarta. He created. And then he has to maintain this also. So he is the Sthitikarta also. And then at least that should be enough. But then he has to destroy it also. What kind of job this is? This is a very tough job. At least if you stop with creation, maybe maintenance, but then destruction also, they say. Bhagavan has to do that also. And this looks like, Bhagavan got into a trap, and he creates and then he has to destroy also. And then after a while, he has to think, what am I doing? Creating, destroying. And this thing, this is not right. Something is wrong about all this. And this destroying, we know it very well. You know why? Because if you look at the garbage that is produced by human beings on earth, they say more than 40% of that garbage is construction debris. Means what? What is construction? Don't think, all this carrot you shave and then, the banana peel and all that, it all goes into the trash. But then this construction debris, which means what? Which is all the buildings we demolish, which is all the bridges we demolish, which is all the roads we remove and then lay new roads. That removed stuff, where do you think it goes? It goes into that garbage dump, and they have all these. You have to we push it out somewhere. And so we know very well, whatever we create, we keep on removing. Constantly we are doing this. Constant. And when I saw that data, this is long ago. I must have seen it some 25 years ago or something. And so it's old data. Today, you can look up and see what fraction that is. That construction debris is a big fraction of the garbage we create. And so Bhagavan also, poor Bhagavan, at least we thought he's better, but he's no better. He creates, we do in small micro quantities. He does it everywhere. You can imagine the garbage Bhagavan is creating. Poor God. And so this poor God, Bhagavan becomes poor God. if he takes himself as a karta. Karta. So karta and bhokta both go together, two sides of the coin. If Bhagavan says, I created this world, then Bhagavan has ahankara. His ahankara must be pretty huge, because for small things and all that, our ahankara is acting up. And you can imagine what kind of ahankara God should have. And he will have to tell his sob story. He says, once upon a time I created, I was the creator. The people used to worship me, and I used to be the most popular guy in this whole world, and they used to think of me all the time. Now they are complaining. What kind of complaints? Oh, it's all Kali Yuga now, and things are not getting better. Our political system is too bad, and in India it's getting from bad to worse, and some states are really bad. And this is how people are complaining. They have no respect for me anymore. Because God created all this. And so, and some people don't worry about politics, but they worry about themselves. Look at all the problems I'm having. Why did God create me? This is my problem, right? And so individuals have these kinds of problems too. And what is the use of praying to this kind of God? And I stopped doing puja. Pramathanandaji says, somebody came and said, I something happened in the family. My daughter did not have a child. But my daughter did not get married. Therefore, I stopped praying. That's it. In fact, all my puja books, this is what Swamiji said, all my puja books, I didn't even give it to the newspaper man for recycling. I just put it in the trash, dustbin, dalo. These puja books don't deserve any respect. This is what she did, it seems. So this is how I've become. God has to complain. And Yen padaiten, means in Tamil, why did I create? I created, I thought I was helping, but now I'm not really helping anybody. So he has to have some kind of a existential crisis. And so yesterday when I was thinking about this, I got a song. Jaane kahan gaye wo din. Like this, he has to start singing. And this Raj Kapoor, tears in his eyes and all that. So God also has to start crying. I'm a great guy, but I'm not that great. I thought I was great, but not that great. I was God. Now what happened? Who am I? Mera naam Joker. Mera naam Joker. How many of you got the joke? Yeah, that song is from Mera naam Joker. That's all. So from God, I became Joker. This is going to be God's situation. If God was a karta, this is God's situation. Okay. And so these are the greatest teachings that Krishna is giving us here. And so he says here, Nacha mam tani karmani nibadnanti. Okay. Nacha mam tani karmani. Those karmas, which karmas? Previous shloka, look at that. Bhuta gramam imam kritsnam avasham prakriter vasat visrijami. I create this whole jagat, okay? So tani karmani, all the things, all the activities that are implied by this creation and sustenance and resolution. Okay, tani karmani sarvani. What does he say? Mam na nibadnanti. Mam na nibadnanti. They don't bind me at all. They don't bind me. I'm not a victim of neither the karma nor the karma phalam. Okay, that is what he's saying. So you have to ask God, what is the secret? Tell us the secret. Okay, what is the secret of your success? We are doing small things and we get caught up and we are just going round and round in circles, it seems. He tells us what the secret is. Asaktam teshu karmasu. Look at that. Yeah, so that's the second line. Asaktam teshu karmasu. Teshu karmasu. In those things that that are happened, that are happening. Asaktam. Asaktam. What is the meaning of asaktam? Shanj. So shanj, sange, that is the dhatu here. And in the sense of attaching, hugging, staying close, clinging. That is the meaning of that shanj dhatu. And so saktam means shanj tapratyaya, and having clung or clinged, I don't know what is the past tense of that. So having attached to something is called saktam. And asaktam, not attached to, quote unquote attached. Okay, not attached to means what? Not identified with. Not identified with. Very critical to understand. Not identified with. And so this kartritva abhimanam is there. I did this. Ahankara and mamakara. These are the two things. Elsewhere, Krishna will say that. Two things are there. Ahankara, I did it. And then what about all these things? These are all mine. And it is okay transactionally to say, this is car I purchased. Okay, I can say that. But as though there is something called absolutely that something belongs to me. This body itself a little questionable. It belongs to me, all right. But body itself, I'm going to give up shortly. And where is the question of all these other things that I claim to be mine? Some transactionally, you need to have certain boundaries are there, and so some life can happen. For that normal life to happen, we need some sense of ownership and things like that. But possession is one thing. Swamiji says ownership is entirely different. And so, therefore, that kartritva abhimana rahitaha, Bhagavan. And so, what is the trick then? I should stop doing what I'm doing? No, don't stop doing what you're doing. It is not stopping doing what you're doing. It is dropping the ahankara, dropping the mamatvam, dropping the idea that I am the author of whatever I did. I am the author. I'm not the author. Why? Because Atma is akarta. Only if Atma is karta, I can say I am the author. I have superimposed authorship on myself. So transactionally, yeah, there are things getting done, and one has to take responsibility for what they do, and that responsibility is taken. But then, even more fundamentally looking at it, Atma has no authorship. Therefore, Atma is not a karta at all. And we saw this in the 5th chapter also. If you look up 5th chapter, Shloka number 14, 5.14. न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः न कर्मफल संयोगं प्रभा स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते. Prabhu, there Prabhu means Atma. Prabhu na kartrutvam na karmani srijati. Atma does not create agency, kartrutvam. Atma doesn't create karma. Atma is not the author of karma. Okay. And but then swabhavastu pravartati. Na karma phana sanyogam. There he said. Karma phala sanyogam. I am deeply connected to the results of my actions. And this hangover is there. This hangover is a problem. And so much hangover is there that I take everything to be authored by me, whatever I am responsible for. And then I become a victim of that phala samyoga. So here Krishna says, na karma phala samyogam. We saw that earlier. So here also, same thing he's going to say. He says, asaktam teshu karmasu. No, I don't have this ahankara bhava. Creation happens. How does it happen? Guna guneshu vartante. We saw in another shloka some time ago. Guna guneshu vartante. Things happen because that's the nature. Trigunatmika Maya. Three gunas are there. Therefore, it's the nature of things to change, things to react, things to explode, things to implode. All this is part of part of this world. So things will happen, including my body and mind also. And so uh, then what? So who am I? I am Asinam. God is saying, Krishna is saying, I am Asinam. I am sitting. Asinam literal meaning is sitting. Okay. Sitting is like what? Udasinavat. Udasinavat. Vat. So this vat, on and off we see this. The pratyaya, the suffix called vat. So vati, Sanskrit students may make a note. Vati pratyaya, it's called vati. And Tena tulyam kriya ched vati, Panini says. So tulyatvam, it tells us tulyam. That vat means what? Tulyam. Tulyam means what? Sadrisham. Sadrisham means what? Similarity. Similar to. Similar. Similar to. And so udasina vat, like an udasina, like a person who is indifferent. Udasina means what? Indifferent. I remain as though indifferent. As though indifferent. Like an indifferent person. Okay. Like we saw in the fifth chapter again, eighth shloka. Naiva kinchit, 5.8. Naiva kinchit, naiva kinchit karomiti, yukto manyeta tattvavit, pashyan shrinvan sprishan jigran, ashnan gachan swapan swashan, ityadi we saw that. Indriyani indriyatheshu vartanta iti dharayan. So everything happens. Naiva kinchit karomi. I don't do anything. That akartir bhavam comes out again in this shloka. Udasinavat. That is the key word here. And therefore, what is the trick here? Karmani, in actions, in whatever I do, abhimana tyaga. Abhimana tyaga. That is it is very interesting. See, look at the balance that is needed, right? On the one hand, here we say abhimana tyaga, but you go to work and then you must have abhimana. You must take ownership. You must keep saying, I did it. You must put it in your resume. You must present yourself. PowerPoint presentation, this, that. You got to do it. In a company, you go and say abhimana tyagaha, you'll get lost in no time. Okay? Take ownership. What did you do? You have to say what you did. I did it. I did it. We did it. We did it. I did it. Constantly you have to say it. We accomplished this. Every bullet point starts with a verb. This is what I learned when I finished my PhD and started writing my resume. They said you have to start your bullets with a verb. Oh, really? That's when I learned how to, all these verbs. Deployed. It's like a rocket deploying. This is where I thought the word deploy should be used. And then people started saying deployed. Deployed this software. I said, oh, software also can be deployed. Oh, I see. So I started learning all these verbs. And, some words become very common, Led a project team. What led a project? Everybody is leading a project team. So you have to say something bigger. So I think and say, what should I say? Collaborated with treasury and IT and this and that. Where full abhimana it is. But then no, that can be done without abhimana also. That is the thing. Human beings have to do. We have to do whatever has to be done. But do it and then walk away from that. Do it, walk away. Do it, walk away. Put it in your resume. Okay, that's fine. That's the way things have to work. If you don't put it in your resume, you won't get a job. If you don't get a job, you can't survive. So all that, whatever has to be done, has to be done. But then you do it, you walk away. Like what? Like that jackfruit. Jackfruit. How many of you know what a jackfruit is? Anybody does not know what a jackfruit is? Anybody does not know? Okay, good. That's better because now there is no raised hand. Okay. So jackfruit, all of us know jackfruit. See, that's why it is hard to teach all these things to non-Indians, especially Americans and all. People those days they used to ask me, "Oh, Bhagavad Gita classes? Oh, Americans also coming to your class?" I said, "No, I am only Indians are studying Bhagavad Gita. Is that a problem or what?" Oh, Americans are not interested in Bhagavad Gita. I don't know. They may be interested, they may not be interested, but they're not there in my class. Okay. So this example I can't give if somebody else is there. So jackfruit, you have to cut jackfruit. It's a great fruit, very tasty fruit, but in order to get to it, lot of work has to be done. And if you don't know how to access the fruit of the jackfruit, then you'll be finished the rest of the day. All hands are all sticky and no chemical will remove the stickiness. And so like that. So you have to properly apply oil and all that. And some people are so good at it. They just do all this, kata, 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 they just cut the jackfruit and remove it all off. So that's how we have to practice leading our lives periodically. Every day come back and say, okay, what did I do? What all I did? What I did not do? Did I make a mistake, etc.? Think back and say, okay, I'm blessed to do whatever I'm doing, and then clean up the accounts. If I have to make some amends, and then go to sleep and wake up the next day. So it is not karma tyagaha, it's karma abhimana tyagaha. Okay, very important. It's not, you can't just walk away and say, no, Bhagavan said you have to stop your abhimana, you have to stop, therefore I'm going to stop doing what I'm supposed to do. No. Arjuna, you have to fight a war. Here, Dhananjaya, he said that word here, Dhananjaya. So, indicating that there is a war waiting for you. Okay, let's translate this shloka. O Arjuna, comma. These karmas do not bind me. These karmas do not bind me. Who is seated? Pujya Swamiji says seated. Paramarthanandaji says remains. Who remains? So you can choose whichever one you want. Who is seated as though indifferent. Who is seated as though indifferent. Who remains as though indifferent, comma. Who is unconnected. Who is unconnected or uninvolved, if you like that word. Who is unconnected with reference to these karmas. O Arjuna, comma, these karmas do not bind me, who remains as though indifferent, comma, who is uninvolved with reference to these karmas. Okay. Okay. Next shloka, number 10. मयाध्यक्षेण प्रकृतिः
मयाध्यक्षेण प्रकृतिः
सूयते सचराचरम्
सूयते सचराचरम्
हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय
हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय
जगद्विपरिवर्तते
जगद्विपरिवर्तते
मयाध्यक्षेण प्रकृतिः
मयाध्यक्षेण प्रकृतिः
सूयते सचराचरम्
सूयते सचराचरम्
हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय
हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय
जगद्विपरिवर्तते
Jagadviparivartate.
So, Sakshi Bhavaha, that comes out in this shloka. Same, Kartritva Abhimana Rahita. Absence of association with Kartritvam. Now, it's difficult to translate these words. Abhimana. Some translations become wrong. Absence of attachment, if we say. Different people understand attachment differently. So that word is not a great word. So absence of association. Okay, absence of uh, association with this Kartritva. I am a karta and I've done so much or I've done too little. Both are a problem. I've done so much also is a problem. I've done too little also is a problem. So regardless of that, so then what? Then who am I? If I'm not a karta, then who am I? I am an adhyaksha. Krishna uses the word adhyaksha for the first time here in the Bhagavad Gita. Maya adhyakshena suyate. Suyate is a verb here. And suyate means produces, unfolds, evolves. Okay, those are the sense in which the word suyate comes. Okay. So this Prakriti produces the world in my presence. Maya adhyakshena. In my presence, things happen. In my presence, Prakriti here must be Apara Prakriti, Maya. Maya creates in my presence. Okay. And my presence. So my presence means obviously Krishna is talking, so Krishna's presence. That means if Krishna is not there, is Krishna there now or not? We have to ask. So here my presence means this Sakshi Rupa Sachidananda Atma, okay, Brahma, and that Para Prakriti, that is Maya Adhyakshena, that is all pervasive, that is Akarta, okay. Maya Prakriti, Maya Adhyakshena means presence. Sometimes the word Adhyaksha is used as in the sense of commanding, overseeing. Okay, overseeing you can say, but if it becomes a task, then the overseeing is not correct. So Adhyaksha means yes, Sakshi. I am there. Like what? Like famous example, Shastra example given by Vidyaranya Muni. Okay, in a text called Panchadashi. He's written a text, Panchadashi, we all study in the ashram. It has 15 chapters. And he went on writing and writing and writing, and amazing text it is. And some verses are not easy to follow. And 10th chapter, he writes, the name of the chapter is called Nataka Deepa Prakaranam. He says, Nataka Deepa, that means what? Imagine a stage. Nataka here is stage, a dance, whatever. Imagine a stage, and then there is a lamp on top. There's a lamp. One lamp is enough. Just imagine one lamp. One big lamp is lighting the stage. And the entire drama is happening in the presence of this light. Okay. This light is illuminating. Without the light, the dance cannot happen. People cannot see. The light stops, then drama is over. There's no use. Nothing happens. This is an example. Okay. So light, in the presence of light, only the stage, the action, the skit is going on. And then what if there are no actions? Then after the dance, the stage, everybody moves away. The dancers all go away. Go away. They are gone from the stage. They left the stage. They're gone. Audience also is gone. Light is still on. Light is still on. That Sakshi, that light, like that light. Atma is that light. Like that he says in that Prakranam, in that Adhyaya, he says that. And then was the light, what kind of Kartrutvam light has? Was the light the director, producer, people who helped in the drama? What kind of work that light did? Well, it is none of these things. It did not do anything. Yet, in its presence alone, everything happens. That is the meaning of Diksha here. And Sakshi, that Sakshi Bhava. That example is good. And Swami Paramarthananda ji likes to give an example. An example is that of electricity. Electricity. Okay. And like electricity means what? Electricity is needed for all devices to work. But when the devices work, electricity does not decide the function of any device. Electricity does not decide what kind of device it is and what type. Is it a grinder, or is it a light, or is it a ceiling fan? What it does, electricity doesn't care. And but without electricity, these devices can't function. And electricity is invisible also. Okay. So like that, that's a good example. Good example. What is the only limitation of this example?
Can disappear.
Electricity can
Electricity
fade.
can go off. Yep.
Electricity
But you
can
need to
go up.
operate.
Power cut.
Kartru.
Power cut.
Kartru should
Power
be there.
cut.
Power cut can be there, but
Need to be generated.
Somebody has to produce electricity.
somebody has
Operator
to.
should be
No,
there.
that's okay. That's okay. Somebody has to produce. I mean, all examples are going to have these problems, right? Every example that we give is going to have a problem. If the example exact means, then the tattvam is there. So every example will have a problem. So okay, electricity has to be generated. Power can go off. But then, more importantly, what I was looking for is,
You cannot see it.
huh?
You cannot see it. I mean, it is invisible.
It's invisible. See, if electricity goes off, your devices are not functioning, but they don't disappear. The devices don't disappear. Thank God. Thank God devices don't disappear. Power goes off, at least power goes off. We'll wait for the power to come. I don't have to run after my fan and ceiling fan and lights and all this. Hey, come on, where are you going? No, power is not there. Power is there in the station. I have to go to the station, No. So that's the thing. But otherwise, just take the spirit of the example. And electricity does not decide. Kartrutvam nasti. No kartrutvam is there. Okay. So in my presence, prakritihi, apara prakritihi, maya, suyate, and sacharacharam. It's a very good word, often used in the Shastram to explain this word, to refer to this world, Jagat, Sacharacharam. Characharena sahitam, saha, characharena saha, sacharacharam. Means what? Char, moving, achar, unmoving, not moving. Okay. That is what. So Suyate already explained, evolves, produces, etc. So this Sacharacharam, Prakriti produces this world, creates this world. Okay. Mobile and immobile. So from your mobile phones all the way to the stationery that you have on the table. Correct? Mobile and stationery, correct? Immobile. So that means everything in the world, basically. Either it's moving or not moving. Either it's living and moving or non-living and moving. Okay. There are asteroids and things like that move. but they're not living. So moving, made to move, made to move keeps on moving. All that is there. And so that means the entire cosmos, entire universe, sacharacharam suyate. And how does this world get sustained? Anena hetuna. Anena hetuna. Hetuna nena. Kaunteya. Jagat viparivartate. Okay, I want to see what Shankaracharya says here. Anena means by this means by that adhyakshatvam, by that sakshi bhava. Okay, I want to see what Shankaracharya says here. Anena. Okay. Yeah, hetuna nimittena means cause. By this cause. By what cause? Anena adhyakshatvena. Shankara says. Adhyakshatvena. Correct. So he's referring to that same. That Sakshi Bhava is needed. Without Sakshi, without consciousness, without Atma, without Brahma, nothing can exist. And so Anena hetuna. Anena adhyakshatvena. Okay. By that sakshitvam, sakshi bhavena. Okay, that is the way to look at, see that. Then jagat viparivartate. Jagat, this sacharacharam jagat, the world which is charam and acharam, that kind of world. Okay, all the things that are happening in this world. World means what? Way to Milky Way. From everything. Okay, it's way to Milky Way. Everything. And viparivartate. Parivartate. Parivartanam bhavati. Changes. Viparivartate. Okay. What does Shankara say to that? Aha. Look at that. Parivartate means changes. That is enough to say. Viparivartate. And Shankara says, Visheshena parivartate. That is the etymology. Shankara says, Sarvasu avasthasu. Means, under all circumstances, there is not a time when things don't change. There is not a time when things don't change. Change itself is constant. Jagat jayati, jayate gacchati iti jagat. Okay, we saw that before. So constant change. This is a mantra. This is a modern, our corporate mantra. They say everything is change. And the CEO come for a lecture. This is I knew, and there's some announcement is there. Announcement is coming, and all of us have to meet somewhere. Means I know something is going to happen. Some announcement, some layoff is there, and some merger, some acquisition. This is constant. Tamasha goes on. We can't work properly at all. And so then he says change is constant, and we have come up with a great idea, and we are being acquired by this company, that's it, over. Finish. Whether I am worried about my job, all this change business, you keep for yourself. So they talk about philosophy. Change is constant, my dear friends. This world, this is a competitive world, and this and that. They give this lectures, I tell you, and so that change. But Shankara also says the same thing. My God, I thought these CEOs say these things. Shankara also says the same thing. Krishna also says the same thing. So I think, yeah, that's correct. Hey, boss, you're right. Change is constant. And even my Shankara says that. So I applaud you also for catching on to that. Okay. So that's the idea here. The world changes. Let's see now. So he's saying what? Prakriti creates in my presence. That is the idea here. Let's translate this shloka. Owing to me. Okay, Mahesh is saying winning in any environment. So Shankara is saying sarvasu avasthasu, any environment. This is uncanny. Oh boy. Okay, owing to me, comma, the presiding presence, Adhyaksha, presiding presence, means what? Not a passive presence, passive. I mean, Atma is Akarta, so you can say passive, passive observer, you can say that. But here, presiding presence, Adhyaksha, comma, the Prakriti creates within brackets the world consisting of the moving and unmoving. Consisting of the moving and non-moving, full stop. Okay. See that the word here that is there in my book here is movable and immovable. I chose to say it differently because can use, as long as you understand it, it's fine. Because movable, immovable. These assets, they say immovable assets, movable assets. So I didn't want us to connect to that. But moving and moving. Moving also can have moving. There is a very moving experience it was, they say that. Anyway, consisting of moving things and non-moving things. Full stop. Because of this reason, comma, anena hetuna. Because of this reason, comma, Arjuna, comma, the world undergoes changes. Owing to me, comma, the presiding presence, comma, the Prakriti creates, within brackets, the world consisting of moving and unmoving, full stop. Because of this reason, comma, Arjuna, comma, the world undergoes changes. Okay, let's chant the next sloka and conclude. Who is next? Avajananti mam moodhaha.
जानन्ति मां मूढाः
Manushim tanumashritam
मानुषीं तनुमाश्रितम्
param bhavamajanantaha
परं भावमजानन्तः
mama bhutamaheshwaram.
मम भूतमहेश्वरम्.
Stop with that. Om swasti prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahishaah go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam lokas samasta sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyah prithvi sasya shalini desho yam kshobarahitah brahmanas santu nirbhayah. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Thank you.
धन्यवाद. Thank you, Ji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಜಗಮಾಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ Ji.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ.
Thank you, Guruji.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಗುರುಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
Thank you, Guruji.
Guruji. Do we have the satsang today?
We can.